Hello, this is Octavius with Summit City Traditional Archery, and today I have a video about the shot process. Every single person that has ever done traditional archery or archery in general has a shot process. However, some people are more consistent than others, and that's due to practice, that's also due to experience, and also longevity on how long you've been shooting. And so what I'm going to do today is go over my shot process as a traditional archer. I've been shooting traditional bows probably, over 10 years now. I started out doing a compound bow, and I was killing deer very easily with a compound bow. Whatever distance, within 40 yards, I felt really confident in killing a whitetail deer with a compound bow. And I spent all this money on my equipment, always got the newest bow when it came out every so often, and I just needed more of a challenge. However, I began this journey inexperienced. Compound shooting does not, in my opinion, does not really get you ready for traditional archery in the sense of understanding how much work is going to have to go into being a consistent and lethal traditional archer. You can take a compound bow, I know this because I did it for years, and literally put it down all year long for 10 months, 9 months, 8 months, and then just get it out, get your bag target, shoot it 20, 30, 40 yards, and you're ready to hunt. Now, do I think that every single compound shooter does that? No. I know that I did it, and I went out and still killed deer every single season with my bow. And so now that I'm a traditional archer, I know that I can't do that. Because if I was to put my bow down all year long and then just go jump in a tree stand with minimal practice, I'm gonna miss deer and I'm gonna wound deer because I'm not taking the time to go over my process and shoot these stick and string bows. I had a hunting season way back when I first started traditional archery, and I missed a deer entirely right in front of my deer stand, and it was probably within 8 to 10 yards. And up until that point, I had never missed a deer that close with a compound bow. It was an eye-opening experience. That's when I went to school. That's when I started to go to the woodshed and learn how to really shoot this bow and other bows that I own. So this is the bow that I hunted with last year. It's a 60-pound long bow, an R&D, reflex, deflex. And I believe that you probably shouldn't start out with a 60-pound bow. I started out with this bow because it was given to me, and I'll do a review on this bow at a different time. But what I'm trying to stress today is that shooting a bow with your process every single week is essential from the start of this year all the way down to hunting season if you're trying to bow hunt. If you're doing 3D shoots, you're going to get ready to do 3D archery here very shortly, and you need to start practicing right now. Don't go out there and expect to hit anything. Okay, I remember I went out with this old guy, and he was like an older gentleman, and he was probably old enough to be my grandpa at the time, and he was shooting with me, and he said, "Son, at least you're hitting foam." He said, "Because I'm not." He was going out there trying to shoot his bow, but he wasn't even hitting the actual 3D animals because he wasn't putting the time in. And he was marveling at the fact that I had just picked this bow up and I was practicing, and I already was hitting the animals about every single target on that 25 archery course or 3D course. And so it's important for you to get your process down. Okay, so I'm going to show you my process and what I do in order to be successful. By no means you have to do what I'm doing, but what I'm doing causes me to be very accurate, so it's best for me. All right, first thing you want to do, and my target's over here because I want to make sure that you see the whole process. You get your arrow out of your quiver, you knock it. Okay, now I like using a back quiver, and I'm not using one today. I'm using the Hipster. However, I always handle my arrow by the knock. Put it on the string, I put my fingers on the string, okay? I usually shoot with the archery glove primarily. Very seldom do I use an actual tab. That's just what I do. I put my finger on the string, okay? And then I line up to my target and I put my actual shoulder or the front of my feet, depending on what I'm shooting at the target. I focus on my spot. I put my actual string in the crease of my fingers, and I look at my target, and then I raise up, push and pull, come back, anchor, push, that's it. And I stay like this, okay? Why do I do that? Anytime you do a follow through, you have more opportunity to pluck that string. You'll see some of the greatest archers that we've ever seen, like a Howard Hill or a John Schultz. They kept their fingers close to their face. They didn't have this. I used to first shoot and I'll go like this, and somebody told me, follow through, and then it's like picking up a apple or something off your shoulder. That didn't really help me, because for me, when I would follow through, I would pluck the string a lot trying to follow through, instead of pushing and pulling at the same time and expanding those shoulder blades. Expand the shoulder blades like that, and then open up like a T, and then release. So I take my finger, I do 3 under, and I take that string and I anchor right here in the corner of my mouth, and then I take my thumb and I put it right here underneath my jaw. And that's the same anchor point every single time. Now, 3 under is going to get you to a place where it gives you a more forgiving release, and there's more rigidity in your actual fingers. A lot of time when I shoot a high poundage bow, a 60, 70 pound bow like I usually shoot, it'll give me finger pain. Now, some people might say, because you're not getting your actual shoulders all the way back, you're not, really having that back tension. I understand what you're saying, but I do a 1 to 2 second hold. I'm not snap shooting. So if I shoot this bow 100 times in a day, towards the end of the day, I really get some finger pain for myself. So I have always shot 3 under, because I get my arrow closer to my eye, and it makes my fingers stronger when I pull that string. Other people don't have an issue. They've been shooting split finger their whole life. That's fine. That's them. They can do whatever they want. For me, 3 under in a hunting situation or in a 3D course is always best for me, because I can look down my arrow and it's in my peripheral and I'm ready to go. Now, I primarily shoot instinctual. However, I still look at my arrow and my subconscious. And when I have a shooting struggle, especially at distances that are longer than 20 yards, I will pay more attention to that arrow. So let me do this again. I'm gonna go ahead and line up. I got my bow. Sometimes I'll take my bow arm and I'll bring it up to my target and kind of see if I'm lined up. Then I go ahead and rotate my actual fingers down across my string, and then I'm gonna pull across my body like this, just like that. That's what you want to do, and you want to hold that pose. Try it again. Shoot 1 more arrow. Up, push, pull, focus on your spot, release. That's what you want to do. So I really think this is going to help you, but what you're going to have to do is, when you release like this, you're going to open up your fingers and press at the same time. Open up your fingers and press at the same time. That's the only way to do it. You don't just keep your bow arm straight and then just go like this and open up your body. You're going to get a string pluck like that a lot of times. If you do both simultaneously, it'll be a lot more accurate, in my opinion. A push and a pull type of release. And so your body will get used to that. That's why it's very important that you start out with a lower poundage bow, like a 35, 40, maybe even 25 pounds, and start getting that technique down. So this technique can be found in other archers, I'm sure. However, it's not as common today as it was years ago, when some of the older guys like John Schultz and Howard Hill used to teach people to shoot. They would release that arrow, and they go like this, and they release those fingers, and their hand really never left their face, and their bow arm stayed steady. That's what you want to make sure you do. You don't want to break down your shot. Very few people I found can really be accurate like this all the time. I've seen them go like this, away from their face. I see them pluck like this. I see them pluck like that. I see their hand. When I've really watched them shoot, they're not staying consistent. Now, some of the best shooters I've found, some of them can definitely go like this, and sometimes they anchor here, and they go boom, and they go here, boom, and sometimes they go here. But it's got to be the same way every time. Me, I find if I expand, let go, my anchor point never changed. All I did is open up my fingers and press through my shot. So this is a bow tip. This is an advanced way of shooting. Most guys you'll see won't shoot this way. And it's taken me years to get comfortable shooting this way. However, I'm very accurate with it. So I wanted to teach you my process. There's so many other things that I could go off on tangents on, but I wanted to make this video as an introduction into how I shoot a bow. I keep my bow arm bent. I bring it up, pull straight back, expand, release. That's it. Very simple. Harder to do. This is a 60-pound bow. Harder to do with a poundage like this or higher. But if you start out with your light poundage bow and you start practicing this, you will see that you will be way more accurate when you're not plucking the string and being erratic with going out to the side, sometimes back, and sometimes all the way away. I've seen so many different things when I see people shooting. With my shot, you will never see me go like this. You always see me open my hands up. That's it. All I do is open my hands up as I expand. So this is just a technique that you can try. I'm not saying it's the best for everybody. I'm just saying that some of the best archers we've ever seen, known to mankind, use this method. And I believe that it can help you if you try it in this off season before hunting season, or as you 3D shoot, you can experiment with it with a lighter poundage bow. Okay, so until next time, this is Octavius with Summit City Traditional Archery. And remember, you don't have to get ready when you stay ready. All right, talk to you soon.